I want to be a sculpture builder, probably.
I would like to be an attorney.
I might go to Oxford University, or maybe RPI, or maybe even Harvard.
Either an architect or a mechanical engineer.
I'd like to play the saxophone. It sounds really cool and I like jazz music.
A veterinarian.
A policeman.
Juilliard. Because I believe that you can tell things through music to people.
The foundation and future of our nation rests on the availability of a free public education system. It's a promise our forefathers made to their children. It's a promise that we now need to see through for ours to ensure that every child has an opportunity to succeed and reach their potential, no matter who they are, no matter where they live. A quality education will provide our most disadvantaged students with a pathway out of poverty and into a productive life by providing them with the skills they need to meet the challenges of the 21st century global economy. Access to a sound basic education is more than just a promise. It's the constitutional right of all children living in this state. But at a time when our students are expected to achieve at higher levels than ever before, a basic education is not nearly enough. Gone are the days when simply mastering the 3 R's secured one's acceptance to a good college or opened doors to a promising career. Today's students need to be critical thinkers, well-versed in higher-level skills that will empower them to compete for the best schools and jobs across our state, our country, and our world. If we want America to lead in the 21st century, nothing is more important than giving everyone the best education possible, from the day they start preschool to the day they start their career.
I want to be an author illustrator because I love doing art, but I also love to write and just write. I'll fill many pages when they just want me to do one.
And I want to learn as much as I can so that I can be the best kind of scientist I could be.
A racer, a astronaut, and a car engineer.
I want to be a nurse, just like my mom and my dad.
Artists, doctors, scientists, explorers, athletes, teachers, leaders. Contrary to some often heard sound bites, New York schools are strong and have made gains in academic achievement. In fact, New York was recently ranked 3rd in the nation by Education Week, based on our educational policies and performance in categories like K-12 achievement and standards, assessments, and accountability. According to a 2012 CNBC study, New York's education system ranks 1st in the nation for providing what businesses need. While there is still progress to be made, good things are happening all around us. But now, in public schools across the state, many fear the class of 2013 may have received the best education that districts will be able to offer for the foreseeable future. New York State's eroding commitment to education threatens to unravel those gains and jeopardizes the promise that our public schools can continue to provide the quality education New Yorkers have come to expect. 33% of superintendents statewide believe that fiscal insolvency is a possibility within their districts in the next 4 years. But they're even more worried about maintaining the ability to give students a meaningful education program. 43% of superintendents report that they'll be unable to fund mandated instructional and other student services in 4 years. The state, burdened with its own deficit, is fixing its fiscal problems at the expense of public schools via the gap elimination adjustment, a takeback of school funding already guaranteed by law. In the past 4 years, more than $7 billion in state aid has been withheld from New York schools. It's eroding the quality of education for our children, leading many districts to dismantle successful programs one piece at a time, and steadily shifting support for our public schools more squarely onto the shoulders of our taxpayers, despite the promised relief from the state's new tax levy cap. New York may lead the nation in overall education spending, but our funding system fails to differentiate between rich and poor districts, leading to vast inequities throughout the state. And though it holds the keys to unlocking doors to alleviate many of the biggest cost drivers in our schools, the state legislature has yet to act on a meaningful mandate relief for public schools. A lack of state leadership on these education issues will shortchange a whole generation of school children. Rural, urban, and suburban schools alike are bracing for yet another year of unpopular to untenable budget cuts, which will further diminish opportunities for the kids and communities we serve. Public education is a weighty obligation that each generation of New Yorkers has carried for the next. And in the midst of this economic crisis, the load feels especially heavy. But let's not lose sight of the fact that there is no more powerful tool than education for shaping the future of New York and filling the dreams of each and every child. Not every district is on the brink of disaster, but the reality is that there are districts right here in our region that are already out of time and options. And many other districts, suburban, rural, and urban alike, are following close behind. Instead of equalizing, New York's approach to funding our public schools perpetuates a system of haves and have-nots. Is this really what our state leaders intended for New York? Is this really what New Yorkers want for our public schools? Is this really what we want for our children? We hope the answer is a resounding no. So what can we do? Act now. Work together as students, parents, taxpayers, teachers, and state leaders, and fight to preserve the quality of education not just in our own districts, but for every student in New York. Get involved. Learn more about the issues by contacting your district or by visiting educationspeaks.org. Reach out to our elected officials to let them know how we want to be represented. Ask them to support legislation to end the devastating GEA, ensure adequate and equitable funding for all of our schools, and demand relief from costly mandates. Let's all stand together to fight for our schools, fight for our communities, fight for our kids, fight for their dreams.
I look forward to learning new languages. I want to learn Russian.
I want to learn some other planets that I don't know. I want to learn stuff that I've never learned before. What about my dreams?